Awesome. It's good to see you guys. Tonight at the end, honestly, was a lot of fun. And two guys that I was thinking about at the end of the game after it, I thought Trace, for a hometown guy to be here in the DMV, and just what a cool moment for him of finishing. And then the other player that I really was proud of was Martavis. And he's had a long and winding road. And so for him and Trace, I was just looking at those two and how excited they were to, meet about 7 or 8 days ago, complete, a touchdown drive to go win a game. I was super pumped for those guys. That's who I was thinking about, as the game was winding down for them and their journey and their story. Like really two guys that went for it. So I thought that was cool to end in that way. So all that said, glad to open up to you guys and get rocking.
Anything else stand out to you? And there obviously a bunch of roster spots still around. Anything initially jump out to you?
What I had told the team at the half, I thought we were really tight, John. I thought, I might even said it in the presser the other day, where over trying at this time of year is a real thing. And I felt some of that. It's so damn important. They want it so badly that at times you can be tight and drop a pass or, foul up an assignment just because you want it so badly. And I felt that. And that's what I said at the half. I said, if we just play like we're capable of in the second half and finish and let it rip and have fun, good things will happen. And so, but I did feel that, how badly they wanted to be part of it. And I didn't feel that as much in the second half. I felt the guys really responded. I love the energy they had, but that's something that I saw, and I saw a shift down. I like the energy that I saw on special teams, the way we covered. Those are things that I was looking for to get a real look at it, and so those are the things that jumped out to me.
And with Martavis, what did you see? What have you seen from him tonight in his time here?
Yeah, I think you feel his size, obviously, but I just felt his competitive nature in this one, John. To learn it, it's not easy to get, jump down and put in the middle of an offense or a defense and learning it. So for him to come in and spend the time with Bobby Ingram, who, if you were somebody to come learn from, he's the one you'd want to pick. And so I was just really proud of him at the end. There was a PI that, went his way, a touchdown at the end. So I was very excited for him.
Can those plays push a guy onto the roster and make you guys say, hey, we can't risk losing him?
I think as we're going through, Siri must have heard that one. I think as we're going through there, hi Siri. As we're going through that, I think that's an important consideration. But Adam and I will go look at the tape and for Martavis and others and finding, what unique things do they have, and then how would we feature them.
What's your process now to figure out, here is the final 53?
Yeah, it's honestly one that's been ongoing, for a long time. And Adam and I spent a lot of time together going through the roster, digging in and finding it. And in fact, he was, watching a whole bunch today, a film, and that's this time of year, what goes on for the initial 53, what does that look like, who's there. It's a puzzle, to put together, but we'll spend a bunch more time here over the next couple days and just make sure we can find the right fit for the team.
I mean, along those lines, how do you factor in the other options down the road, like waiver wire, guys that may be dealing with nicks or injuries and stuff like that?
I think that's a really fair question, Nikki, and that's why I said the initial 53. And as you know, there's probably a little bit of fluidness even past the opening game as roster decisions get done with veterans and those types of things. So that's what you have to look at for the big picture. We certainly don't want to be in this position from a claiming order again, but if you have it and there's opportunities that you need to use, then, that's Adam and his staff will dig in hard.
Dan, you went for it on 4th and inches, 4th and 1, whatever it was, I think second quarter down 7-0. Is that just to get that on tape and to get your guys in that mode of what they'll have to do?
Yeah, I think for a lot of them, there was some times where when it was 4th down, we were going to kick it. We wanted to give Cade chances, with Tyler and Tress and the guys. There's nothing like a game environment to go kick. So that particular one, I don't think it was in field goal range, so we were going into that space to go. So different weeks will call for different things, but in this one, we really wanted to make sure he had some chances to go, hit his kicks if those moments were there, and so that's what we did.
And also, looked like Fedarian Mathis was pretty spry in both halves. Did you see anything particular?
Yeah,
that
I
jumped
felt
out to
the
you?
same. I really felt his energy. The guys did too, so it was really cool to see him. We had good conversations with he and some of the other guys about what specifically we were looking for. And I thought Phil in the game, I really felt his energy. Certainly go and look at the tape, but it was cool to see. I thought John had a couple big hits. Some of the big guys that we've been really pushing inside. It was good to see them do that.
You kept out obviously a lot of players today. Is it fair to think that the guys that kept out, barring anybody who might be hurt, are safe for this team?
That they would be hurt or, now you make me go through the whole list. I wouldn't say everyone was on the 53. There was a couple injured guys too, so I don't want to make sure I'm not missing that. But if the guys were healthy and there, I'd say you're probably barking up the right tree.
And for Jamin Davis, obviously it's been a conversation all summer. I don't know what you were able to see of him today, but now that you're here, you got to make some calls. What do you kind of view his situation?
Yeah, I've been super impressed by him. I think we had talked about him last week, just his willingness to try something new, that he hadn't been doing a lot. And I really thought he would be a good blitzer, So early on in the spring, we featured him at Summit linebacker there. And then when I really felt the speed, we want as many fast and long athletes out on the edge as we can, and I thought he had that trait. And so we've been working hard with him at that space. At that position, man, you need real gas to go, and you need a lot of them. And so I thought this is a player that's really worth the time to put it in to get there. And so when you're doing a new position, it takes some time to grow into it. But, man, have I been impressed by his work ethic. He's covering kicks, doing everything the team's asked of him. So I thought he had a really good offseason, even with some changing of positions. We'll flex him some at backer as well, but he's really starting to come on as a D end.
Hey, DQ, I'm right here.
Thank you.
Hi. With Martavis scoring that touchdown, the sideline went crazy, and they were really excited for him. What did he and his success mean to the team? Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think as a ball player and a teammate, you really have appreciation for somebody's journey, maybe even if you might not have been a part of that. But you recognize it when things don't always go the way you'd hoped it would. And so for someone like him to, stay with it, that shows a lot of grit, where it would have been real easy just to walk away and not be able to do it. I had a chance to coach him some last year, and I was impressed. I didn't forget. And so would he make the most of that opportunity? And so I felt that energy from him. So I think it's probably a combination of he's a good teammate as a new guy here, but there's also some appreciation for a story that shows some real resilience and some fight, which, these guys certainly appreciate.
Coach, how did you see out of Drake Driscoll? How did you think he performed starting, playing the whole first half? His decision-making, can you speak on that for a moment?
I can. And so one of the things we know with Jeff, he's got great legs. He can really run. All these guys can, that are part of the system. But looking into the game, and we'll have to go back and watch some of the film, but, some of the third downs that we want to convert and go to, we'll have to see if, from a decision-making process, it was right. But Jeff's one of our very best competitors, and has certainly even exceeded my expectations coming in. And 'cause I've watched him from afar for a long time. I actually got to work with him for one season years back. And so I've always had my eye on him, even from him transferring and going to other teams. So to see him really take advantage of this opportunity here has been really cool to see.